And we're live.
Ah!
Ah,
Welcome back to the Nathan and Steven podcast, Time Times. We talk about movies and things and shows and things. And today we're back to talk about movies.
yep.
Yeah, so
Take a break from things. Going back.
yeah, today will be probably the least controversial, most easy, and probably shortest. Not
Unless
shortest,
you're
one of the
Danny.
shortest.
Unless you're Danny, then
So
it's
yeah, we're talking
controversial
about
for
Star
me.
Wars original trilogy, which a lot of people like. We like them too. Spoiler alert. Unless you're Danny. Just kidding, I think. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, we're just going to talk about the three of them individually as a trilogy, and we probably won't compare them to the other two trilogies, just since like in the when we're talking about the other trilogies, we compare it to this one. We don't really compare this one to the others. That makes sense. Yeah.
This is
All right.
good. The other ones aren't good.
Yes, exactly. That's the best way to do it. All right. So right off the bat, we'll just hop into it. So first one, New Hope, just general, you know,
Yeah.
general thoughts on it.
It's a. I mean, it's definitely a simple movie. I'm
Hmm.
not gonna lie.
Hmm.
It's not very complicated, but I think that's a good thing because when
Yeah.
Star Wars tries to be complicated, makes movies like the prequels. Whatever the plot is in those movies, I still
Hmm.
don't know. I mean, it's definitely not a good one. So yeah, the New Hope is just has like a simple characters with like a predict. I mean, it's predictable. Like they have predictable character
Yeah.
traits, but I
Yeah.
think it's fine.
Yeah. Like you said, like Star Wars is good when it's simple. Like the best three to four, like the original trilogy and probably like Force Awakens. That's an opinion of mine. But I think that the originals are generally like seen as the top three. Star Wars is just the best at its best when it's simple. Like you can describe the plot in like 1 to 2 sentences. Good versus evil, characters we know. It is the best that way. So yeah, I mean, New Hope is very simple, but it also like was the first, so I guess they wouldn't come out firing with complicated themes and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with the movie. Like it's like entertaining for what it
Mhm.
is. I would never
Maybe
really
the
say it's
pacing,
bored.
but it's not that bad. It's just
It's
like
not terrible.
it's just not
Yeah.
as exciting as the other two, I
Well,
guess.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
It
But I mean,
definitely,
they
I
didn't
mean,
really know what they were doing yet.
yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah,
I mean, I know it is the oldest, but it definitely like rewatching the originals, it definitely feels the oldest of the others.
yeah,
Like, not that the other two look super modern, but they hold up like way better than New Hope. Even though New
yeah.
Hope's still fine, other than the
George
special edition.
Lucas thing. I don't even know, dude. I was making fun of that scene so much, and I didn't even know it was George Lucas. I
Yeah.
thought that was just a movie, and it's him in the 2000s that did
Yeah.
that.
I mean, you could
It's
tell
so
when you watch the
wild.
prequels that he added those at the same exact time because it looks like prequel CGI.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
terrible.
A New Hope. So you get introduced to. I mean, well, it's okay. I kind of at first I remember the droid scene in the desert just being like forever because I guess as a kid like I just remember that part dragging. But it's not that. It's a really interesting like way to set up a movie to not be shown your main character right away. It's kind of
Yeah,
interesting.
they introduced the characters through the drones.
Yeah, and they like introduce the conflict before it's really like a cool way to do it because
Yeah,
most of them you're shoved with the main character right away. So
hmm
I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I just the characters are so much more likable than
I
like
know.
any of the other trilogies. I mean, the prequels pretty much try to. I mean, not the prequels. The sequels try to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like you can relate most of the characters to one of the characters in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Like they're not like beat for beat the same, but they're
They
pretty
mirror them
similar.
a lot more.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, which is fine, but like still, the originals did it better in my
Yeah.
opinion. So
I don't think there's any original trilogy character I dislike. You know?
yeah, I mean they're all good.
Yeah, they're either good or great. Like so
Yeah,
it's I don't know. I know I think you like Luke. Is that your favorite character in there?
yeah, that's my favorite character.
I still like Han, but I think that's
I
just
know
like
Han's really
it's
cool too, but yeah,
different for me because I definitely grew up with these. So it's like I've seen the originals like
mm,
I don't know, probably almost 100 times. I've seen them a lot. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I've lived with them. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't drag for like what's happening because like in the beginning we talk about you see the droids, then go to
mm.
Luke on his farmhouse almost, and he's there for you're on Tatooine for a while, just kind of I don't know
They're just
exploring
like
Luke and
learning the
stuff.
character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like starting from like the space battle with like Vader and just going down to like Tatooine for a solid like 20 minutes. It's kind of change in pace. So I don't know. It doesn't. I don't think it drags though.
yeah. It was just, I mean, it's just like a good movie. It's not
Yeah.
terrible. It's not. I
Just
mean,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It just
good.
happened.
It's a great way to start off
Yeah.
a franchise.
Yeah. I don't know, and like I can't. It's hard for me to remember what it was like because I was so young. But like I don't know. I every time I see like Mos Eisley Canteen on Tatooine or like the Death Star, like I just imagine how cool it would be for me to see it for the first time again. Because like I'm just so like used to everyone's so used to like knowing what a stormtrooper is or what Darth Vader was. But
Yeah,
it's so weird
yeah,
like never seeing any of that and just having all that thrown at you. It'd be
yeah,
crazy. So
yeah. I know.
I don't
Well,
know.
like I had like previous knowledge before watching it. Like I
Yeah.
knew the basic storyline of Star
Hey,
Wars.
you Death Star explode. Like yeah, that would be
Yeah,
really yeah.
but yeah, it was still good, and like especially I know like even coming from me, like I don't have any of the nostalgia,
Mhm.
and like I still think it's a good movie.
Yeah, so you're able to judge it. But yeah, that's it. Yeah. The only not like fault with it, but the only thing I'm able to laugh at, like, wow, that's day is the lightsaber fight. Like that that
Yeah, I
doesn't hold up.
mean, it could definitely could have been choreographed better. I know like it gets
Yeah,
kind of gets an excuse for the time, but I feel like
yeah.
they definitely still could have improved it.
I do wonder what they were like expecting with the fight. So like I don't know because Empire took like was made 3 years later. That fight's like probably my favorite of the whole Star Wars saga.
Yeah,
End of the
yeah,
Empire fight or Return, but still. So I don't know like what they wanted at first from the lightsaber fight, but that one was. I mean, I imagine it'd be super cool the first time, but now what? 50 years later.
yeah. It's funny. It's a funny scene.
Yeah, it is. And then okay, so old Obi-Wan dies, and I'm like sure that was emotional then, but like after like watching him in prequels and Clone Wars, it's kind of it hits more because it's like oh that's the same guy we've seen for like a long
I
time
know.
now.
Yeah,
That
it's like
character. It's weird to now have backstory on him and be like
yeah,
oh
because well,
that's this
you
guy.
didn't know the character that well,
Yeah, you just
where
knew he
his
was a
death
mentor.
is super emotional. I was just like, oh, but like yeah, seeing the, I mean, Obi Wan's the only character I liked in the prequels, so and in Clone Wars. I mean,
He's
not
so
the only one
he's the
in
most
Clone Wars.
consistent throughout
Yeah,
everything. He feels like the same person.
yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of Vader? I feel like I never talk about Vader just because he's iconic and he's
I
like
know it's
genuinely
like no one doesn't like him. He's a
yeah.
good villain. I mean, it's yeah,
And
he's
even
a,
Anakin in the prequels didn't like tarnish his like
yeah.
uh,
Well, because he just doesn't feel like the same
I
person.
know, so it's not it doesn't hurt it because it's not the same person.
Yeah,
So
but yeah, I think Vader is a solid villain. I mean, I really liked. I predicted it because it was like a pretty obvious
arc.
character, yeah, arc. Um, but like I still like it. It was a solid arc for him.
But one of my favorite things about him is like the fear that he brings with him because immediately like I mean you haven't seen the movies but you know who Vader is obviously because who doesn't? We're watching and just that first scene in New Hope when he's in there with like Tarkin and all those guys around, that one guy disagrees with him immediately like he's
So cool.
dying and I was like yep like within like 20 seconds he dies. Then in Empire he just
Yeah, he
goes like
kills.
sick
He
though.
just
He just chokes
chokes
everyone.
everyone. It's
It's
so
just a
funny.
really it's funny at the same time. It's like it's crazy that that character is established as like it's not a silly kind of like he's just gonna kill everyone, but it's like it's an interesting trait he has.
Yeah,
And he's not just he's like obviously evil, but he doesn't just embody pure evil and want like the worst. Like he actually has like a personality almost, and the way he
yeah,
talks to Luke is like
yeah. That's like
so
why.
he's humanized for a guy who's in a suit like that.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be like Palpatine. It's supposed to be pure
Yeah,
evil.
he's supposed to, yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I mean, I guess we can move on to Empire.
Yeah. Or yeah, for just for your hope, the last thing is just like I think the trench run still holds up. Like the final thing blowing up the Death Star. Like every time I
Oh,
watch it, I feel like that one's exciting.
yeah.
Because
No, that seems pretty cool for
yeah,
like
because
the
there
time.
isn't much I like that movie.
They do it like five more times.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's-
New Hope, it's inspirational, original, whatever.
yeah.
Really good. It's not my favorite, but
Yeah.
like it's still up there for me just because.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I don't have faults with. That's really weird to say. Like
I
it's
know. Well, it's
I was
just
kind of
like
agree.
it's
I don't.
simple. Like
Yeah,
if
like I
they
don't have
didn't
extreme like love for it, but I also don't have any like hatred for it. So it's
if they
really
didn't try to do anything that would like risk like its reputation or like make it bad.
it just
It
it
is.
feels good to have an opinion on Star Wars like that, where I'm not just pissed off by everything
I know.
anymore.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
after a while, it's refreshing. So Empire. This Empire's my favorite. So I know, like at first, I didn't get it because that was everyone's, and then like when I was a kid, up until probably like a year or two ago, I was like I didn't get Return was always my favorite, like
Mm,
without a doubt, and then it was Empire that new. But
yeah.
yeah, Empire was my favorite upon rewatch. Like it was by far the best paced for me out of the entire Star Wars
Yeah.
saga. Like I don't know,
I,
that one's
I
always
mean, I know it's like pretty much like any sensible person's favorite. Pretty like for the most part,
yeah
most
yeah
people
yeah
agree like that. It's not mine. It's
yeah
close. It's like Empire and Return are really close for me, but I
yeah.
still like Return better
Mine
just because it
mine swaps
closes.
depending, but now it's been Empire for a while.
Yeah, yeah. It's just because like Return closes the saga. I don't know. But yeah, Empire is really good. It like took what New Hope did and it just made it a lot better, and like
elevated
it
it.
feels a lot more modern compared to New Hope,
Yeah.
even though it's like set around the same time. And yeah, it's like a really good movie. I don't have anything
Just,
that's like bad to say about these movies because they're
I
all really
wanted
good.
I was gonna talk about like Hoth and how cool that's, but like I just want to talk about because like how good the original trilogy is at introducing new characters, make them compelling, likable, and like sad when they like Yoda. He's iconic. Like we talk about these people who are iconic. When you think about like he's very well written character. He's very I don't know. He's probably one of my favorite characters in the originals
Yeah,
just because he's. It's so weird
he's like
seeing him in the prequels
that.
now.
He's the best version of Yoda in the originals. Like
Yeah, like yeah,
rewatching all the other things. I mean, I haven't finished Clone Wars, but I've seen enough of him to know. Like I don't know. I just don't like the Yoda in Clone Wars that much.
yeah. I don't hate it, but I like
Oh
him more than the one in the prequels just because he actually
yeah,
walks around in this. So he's.
dude. The prequel was the one like I didn't even think about it, but like rewatch watching Cosmonaut sing, like he is like literally a war general. It's
I
weird.
know. And not only
Like
that, but like I don't know, like
he flips.
regardless of the flipping and stuff, he isn't Yoda. Like he doesn't have the character traits of him.
Yeah,
It's
like
really
Yoda like gives speeches and like
he's not
is
the wise
I don't
mentor
know.
and
It's really
yeah.
weird.
But
But
I love Yoda and like I think it's really like I don't know. We were saying how wait, what was I saying? Oh yeah, how it was weird that they introduced New Hope like unconventionally, where like the conflicts first, and you don't meet your main character till like 20, 30 minutes in. Like Yoda, when they introduce him, you don't know who he is right away. It's just this crazy goblin guy, and like
well,
you know he's Yoda, but I wonder if I was in the theater if I would know that was Yoda.
yeah.
'Cause he keeps referring to Yoda in the third person, like he's gonna help him find him.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just a really funny way to do it, and it shows Luke's like impatience and
Yeah. It
his
was
unwillingness.
a good way to show like what Luke has to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, we could touch on. Yeah, I was gonna say something, but I want to wait till we return because like Luke's arc is actually really, really
It's a good
solid.
arc. Yeah. I
It
mean,
is. It's so
everything in the
simple.
movies in these movies are
I
so
know.
good. Like it's so well written and
Yeah,
so simple.
I don't know. My favorite part of Star Wars probably is like the world building because New Hope just has like Tatooine with all these weird aliens and stuff. They just have everything. Like it's weird and strange and funny, but like in a good way. Then like
Mhm.
Hoth is like one of the coolest, most iconic planets now. The snow planet, which is
Yeah. Yeah.
like AT-ATs. Like everything that I see now, I'm just used to seeing. But like they just create so many new ideas and put them in like effortlessly, and it just expands upon the world. Because I feel like that's what the prequels and sequels struggle to do. Is like they have their own things. Like obviously prequels have their diplomatic Senate meeting, but like that's not good world building.
Yeah. Like it was a cool concept the prequels had. It just didn't execute it
Yeah,
well.
I know.
Like I was genuinely excited. I knew they were bad, but I was still like this like sounds cool. And then I watched the trailer for Phantom Menace. I was like that looks cool cuz literally half of it was the Darth Maul fight, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I
The
know.
best part of the movie. Um but yeah, it just it definitely didn't like succeed in what it was trying to do at all. I feel like and yeah, the originals did because it was just like it's a simple thing that they tried to tackle and they didn't try to do too much. And I know I said that, but it's like it's not. I know like there's movies that can, but of that time, like there are movies that are complicated and do it really well, and obviously I would consider those movies better. But Star Wars is just like simple and good.
I know
So
like Last Jedi kind of did this, but I like Empire a lot because like it's constantly like their backs are against the wall the entire movie. Like they're always losing the entire movie.
yeah,
Immediately they get attacked by the snow planet. They get like a transport off, and then Vader's pursuing them, and he's so persistent that like everywhere they go, they have bounty hunters following them. They have star destroyers following them to the asteroid field. Luke is the only one safe, and that's just because he's alone training with Yoda. It's
yeah,
just it's a really interesting thing to have, and they lose in the end in
yeah,
Empire. Like
yeah.
it's
Uh,
really yeah.
and just like another thing, like the names are so just like perfect fitting for
I
the. I
know,
know they're like super simple,
I know.
like literally Empire Strikes Back, and the whole
Yeah, because
movie
they
is
lost in
them.
the last one, but
Yeah,
now,
but
yeah,
like Phantom Menace, I still don't know what that
I
means.
think it's supposed to be Maul. I think. I think he's the
Okay,
Phantom Menace.
sure. He doesn't talk, so I can't tell.
He has two lines, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, I guess
uh,
Attack of the Clone, Revenge of the Sith, they're like good titles, but I don't know. Like they fit the movie. But they're still bad movies.
yeah. I don't know. At first I thought like the pacing dragged as well with Yoda training Luke. I remember that being. I think just because I'm remembering from when I was a kid, because like when we watched it, it felt almost quick. Like it was. I don't know. I feel like this movie was never boring. I don't feel like any of the three really are.
No, yeah, they're all good. Like it's just like I don't know, they're so good just to
Yeah.
watch with
I
no
like
noise.
because like at the beginning, like Luke and Leia kiss. That's obviously still ever gonna be weird forever.
Yeah.
But I like Han and Leia's relationship fleshed out the entire time because like he clearly likes her, and his whole thing, his whole joke, the whole movie is that she loves him but won't admit it, and she like
Yeah.
wants him to stay. And then finally, like at the end, when he gets put in the whatever the frozen car, the
Yeah. The
liquid carbonite,
carbonite.
whatever,
Yeah.
yeah. And she says, "I love you." He says, "I know." I just Han Solo is such a cool character. He's
Yeah.
literally just and he is that role, Harrison Ford. I don't know.
I know it's weird. I mean, like he was still the same in the sequels, just like not like he's the most similar to his character in the
Yeah,
originals,
for sure,
in
for
the
sure.
sequels, but it's still like not quite Han.
Yeah,
Like it's close, but Luke isn't. We just don't talk about him.
yeah.
God,
Yeah. Anyway, but I just don't have complaints with either of the two movies we've talked about so far. I just,
they're really well written. It's just like, yeah.
except for Boba Fett and Empire, that's the only
Oh
complaint. Is
no, okay, okay. I don't have complaints about Boba Fett.
just
It's
confusion.
just, yeah. Like, why is he a fan favorite? Like, I get
It was like action figures back in the day, but now I don't know why.
like he has cool armor. Like the Mandalorian armor is cool and stuff. And like he's a bounty hunter, but he doesn't do anything. Like that's like saying Darth Maul is your favorite, and you only watch Phantom Menace. You didn't watch Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Like that character is your favorite. It's just like he didn't do anything. He just looks cool. I don't know. I mean, I guess you can have your opinion, but like
No,
out of all
I
the
agree.
characters you choose Boba
I don't
Fett.
like them.
No,
Yeah, I
not
don't.
you. I'm just saying
No,
people.
oh, you're just like people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh, Oh, and one interesting because we're talking about like Vader and how he's a strong force and fear, whatever. But he like it's really weird because like you see the first glimpse of the Emperor in this one. I don't know if you remember. He like has a hologram like zoom with him almost. I don't know. It's
yeah,
not,
yeah.
yeah, but talks to him. But like Vader gets down on like one knee to talk to him. That's the first time you see Vader like below another figure, and it's
Hmm.
really like that's an easy way to establish, but like effective way that there's a like a presence higher than Vader.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah.
really interesting.
And just
Oh
like Luke's arc in that movie is like his character choice between his friends or the dark or like being closest to the light instead of the dark side.
yeah,
Like Yoda warns him, if
yeah.
you go to save your friends, you're most likely going to go to the dark side. And still, yet he chooses his friends. Like
Mhm.
I feel like it's just an easy way to establish his
It
character.
makes
It's
me
like
so
a
happy.
caring character.
Hearing the light in the dark and saving your it's just so much better than Senate meetings and
Politics.
yeah, I hate it. Because even like in New Hope, Leia says she's on a diplomatic mission to all. There's like hints of, and they're the Empire and they're the rebellion, so they're rebelling against like the government. But like it's simple versions
It's
of
like
the
it's simple
government
storytelling. Like
conflict. Yeah,
they understand how to present a story to a person.
and
Like
it could be for kids or adults. This is probably the only trilogy where you could say that
yeah,
because there's
yeah,
one movie in the sequel that I don't think's for kids at all. But
yeah,
anyway,
good movies.
yeah. But yeah, Empire. I don't know, and that's still my favorite lightsaber fight in Cloud City. Like, oh, I like Lando a lot. I forgot to talk about him. I just
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna mention Lando, but
yeah,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
also like he has a Han Solo feel to him where he is that character. I haven't seen him in anything else, but like I just
yeah,
can't imagine that like guy's an actor talking to me and not being like that's Lando Calrissian.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Another, yeah, I don't know.
It's
I
good. It's
yeah, that fight's the best to me just because it has emotion. That's because the prequels, that's what they struggle with. There's no emotion in any of those fights.
yeah,
Even like
it's
Anakin
it
versus Obi
really
Wan, I
is.
didn't feel anything. Like I was cool, but
You were the chosen one.
yeah, I felt a lot. Nah, but
People just like
Empire, it's
cry
an
during that scene. I don't understand. Like
yeah,
the only reason I would feel emotional is if I watch Clone Wars beforehand. Like that's the only reason I feel for
yeah,
Anakin at all. There's
yeah.
nothing compelling me to be like, oh no, don't turn
Dang it,
him.
my
Like
favorite person is turning. No, yeah, nah, but like this one like intercuts dialogue well, like between Luke and Vader, and it is just long enough in the fight. It's just paced really. It's my favorite fight still, and I think the choreography holds up as opposed to New Hope. So
yeah,
yeah, then they lose.
yeah.
That one's my favorite. I don't know. I really like this one.
It's good. It's
Yeah, yeah,
good movies.
it is. It's
And
just
then there's
refreshing.
Return.
Return.
I don't
Uh,
know. Like I don't know how like the general feeling of this movie is for like fans in
yeah, most
total.
people like it. Like
Yeah.
number one,
Okay.
it's
Because like
just
because watching Cosmonaut review, I was like really surprised that like
yeah.
he didn't like
He's
Return.
one of the few people that don't like. He likes it, but I've heard people say like the Jaws sequence extent. Like they have the same complaints as him, but they still put it as like third. Like he put it like fifth or whatever.
Yeah. Like
I don't.
I
Yeah,
can understand where he's coming from. I just still like it
yeah,
the
for
most.
sure. But it's still
Um,
those flaws don't ruin the movie for me like they did for him.
I just want to quickly touch because it kind of relates to both. Like I know
Yeah,
you mentioned this, and like Cosmonaut, I think did. Yeah, or maybe you got it from Cosmo. I don't know, but like Han, I've, he should have died.
yeah, I'd heard that. So even before, like I'd heard that for years because like Harrison Ford said that like in an interview that he was
Yeah,
gonna die. I didn't think so at first, and watching Return, I was like, he's Han, like he's part of the gang. I never thought twice about
yeah.
it. But if he died in Empire, it would have been like.
It would have been like emotional. Like it that I would have actually felt for a character.
However, the selfish and greedy part of me is happy that we got him for two more movies because I love
Yeah.
him as a character. It's just so
But then
yeah,
you look at his death in Force Awakens and you're like, why?
yeah.
Like that's like my least favorite part of the movie. Like that movie's good. I just don't like that part because it's just like I understand, but it didn't need to happen.
I'm ready. I'm interested to talk about the sequels because those are the first Star Wars movies that like I got to anticipate coming out in the theaters.
Mm,
Because like the only movie I was alive for coming out was Revenge, and I was 1 year old. So like like I've just grown up with all these. So
yeah.
yeah, Return. I really like it. I don't. Did you know his lightsaber was green initially, Luke, or no?
Like in that fight scene
Just in
or
the movie, did you know like he would get a green lightsaber eventually, or no, Luke?
no, I didn't know that.
Okay, I didn't know if you'd get like if you knew with prior knowledge because I always associate Luke with the green lightsaber, which is really weird because he has a blue one for the majority of the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I don't
just
know.
I never really thought about it, I guess. I don't know.
No, I just didn't know if like you knew because yeah, I don't know. It always been a thing to me. So
Yeah.
yeah, well that's a thing. He's a green one. But
Hmm.
yeah, the only weird. Okay, so yeah, what's that? When he rolls up the job, his plan is so elaborate. Like
It
it's
is. Okay. I
it's a
just didn't think
cool,
about
really
it.
cool sequence, but
Yeah.
it's
It was really weird.
this
First.
one definitely. This is the only movie that feels like it's split up into three acts, like
Hmm.
the
Yeah,
Java thing,
everything
the
definitely feels split.
Endor, and then the finale. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it. Not in a
I
bad
mean,
way. It's just like
yeah. I don't hate the last or the first scene, I mean. It's fine.
I think it's a
It-
really cool sequence. It just doesn't
yeah.
connect to the rest of
It's
the
just
movie.
really complicated. Like they sent well, Leia was captured and then
Listen to droids, and then Leia and Chewbacca, and then
yeah, and then he came in when he could have just done that in the beginning, or all of them could have just came in at the same time.
got
They were gonna
intentionally
fight,
captured so he could.
and I
Yeah,
don't know. And then they just planned R2D2 to throw his lightsaber.
yeah. However, it's like it's a really cool sequence. So like I whatever I give it a pass. I know most people, or not most, but I know some might not. That's just personally, I'm okay with
Oh,
it.
and then Boba Fett dies. That's the thing that
I told him
annoyed
the
me.
Sarlacc
I
pit.
couldn't even tell if he died. Like it wasn't clear,
Yeah.
but I'm
Well,
okay with that. I guess.
blind Han Solo kills him. So
I forgot he was just got out of the carbonite too. Yeah.
yeah. See, I have no issues with Han in this movie. I like him a lot. It's just like
No, he's fine. I
storytelling
mean, he definitely
wise,
feels like retracted a little bit.
yeah,
Like he's not the same exactly. He just feels sidelined a little,
yeah,
like a little
yeah,
more.
for
I
sure.
don't know.
It's Luke's. This one's definitely Luke's movie. Like if the other two weren't already.
Yeah,
But Luke, like, I mean, not that he wasn't towards the end of Empire, but like we're talking about his arc, New Hope. He's a whiny brat, whatever, Tashi Station and stuff. Then Empire, he's
justification.
learning responsibility. He still has that sense of him when he meets Yoda, but at the end, like he learns to fight for his friends, whatever. And he, he's more mature by the end of only Empire. Then you see him like I think a year passes between like Empire and
Yeah,
there's
it's
a
like a
time period.
while. It's a while. Yeah.
Anyway, so I think it's like a year, but he like shows up and immediately. I don't know why he force chokes the two Gamorrean guards or whatever. That always confused me because that seems like I don't know if they
Yeah.
die though, but still, who cares?
Yeah.
It's whatever. It's just like he like looks like and they call him Jedi Master Luke. He just like immediately he shows up with more of like a presence than he did in the other two. He feels like
Yeah.
a more mature, older
It's
character.
just weird because like whenever I think of force choking, like I immediately associate that with Vader, and it's like weird to see like someone use that, like who's on the good side. Like I remember, I think shoot, I don't know where I think it was in Clone Wars. I was watching. I don't remember what episode, but I
Yeah.
feel like someone did it, and I was like, oh,
Anakin chokes Ventress for
I
information.
know he does that, but like that made sense for his character. Like at that point,
That's the only time, but even that was off putting. I was like, oh yeah, because he's Anakin the Darth
yeah,
Vader.
he's yeah.
That's the only time I could think of.
I feel like there was another one, but I don't remember.
I don't know.
It might have been. No, I don't think it was Obi-Wan because that would feel like
Yeah,
really
you
weird.
would have known. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't remember. But yeah, yeah, it's definitely like off-putting a little bit. But I mean, you just like I don't want to say like you look past it, but like you do kind of.
Yeah, because it's just cool.
It's
Like,
just like a little flaw. Like
yeah,
I
but
don't
like,
want to like sound like I'm just like ignoring this movie and just
yeah,
loving it because it's like a
yeah,
movie.
but like you do, like the Jabba sequence is not enough to ruin it because that's one of my favorite sequences in the whole trilogy. It just doesn't fit in like with the movie, but it's really good
Mhm.
still. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. I just like I guess Empire I Empire is probably better. I just like the fulfilling aspect. Like they won, you know?
yeah,
I don't know.
the satisfying trilogy.
Yeah.
Not in Jabba, like he had a brief scene in New Hope, but it was like super CG and stuff, whatever. But and Return, like he again with the introducing the characters, like you just they established them so easily and flawlessly. Yet like they're such good Like I like Jabba a lot. He's just like this disgusting, cruel, vile like
Yeah.
blob who's just he's powerful. He has control of that whole play. Like he's it's a really interesting. He almost reminds it not of Kingpin. That's not a great comparison.
Yeah,
That
I
might
get what
just
you're
be
saying
a the
though.
effect, but he's just like a guy who's at the top and able to control stuff without actually having to do it himself.
Yeah. But like separate from the Empire. Like he's like his own.
Yeah, yeah, he's like
Yeah.
he's part of like yeah, tattooing like smuggler underworld. It's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
interesting.
It's like cool world building. It's like what you said earlier. Like
Yeah, it's just there's all these little yeah details that you just watch and take for granted because once you watch the other ones, it's yeah.
I'm talking
So then
about.
yeah, what do you feel? How do you feel about the Endor stuff? Because I know people the Ewoks they're not controversial, but a lot of people think they're just made for kids and they didn't need to be in it.
I mean, they're fine. Like I
Yeah,
don't
I have
get
no
why
opinion
people
about
hate
the end of
them.
it.
They're just creatures that they introduced on a planet.
Yeah, I mean
And
again,
I
it's
guess
for
it
me.
was done for money still, but like
Yeah,
they didn't take away at all.
for me, I still take it as world building. I don't
Yeah.
specifically think they're there for comic relief for kids. Like obviously they're targeted towards kids, but like it's just another creature on a planet that's I don't
Yeah.
know. The
Yeah.
only
I
thing I
know.
don't buy is on the Battle of Endor when they're fighting like that Ewoks could take out stormtroopers with rocks and stuff. Although they do show like a couple casualties, but like of the
No.
Ewoks, which is
Yeah,
just
they did.
horrific. But
But they had like a bunch of them too. But yeah, I get what you're
oh
saying.
yeah, like they have the giant and stormtroopers suck. So yeah.
They that is true.
No, and
I don't get why that's a thing. It just sucks. Oh my gosh.
one really odd thing. I know a year or so has passed, and like Lando might not have had a choice in Empire, but Han sees Lando with like, and he hugs him. And they're all smiling with no hesitancy. Like Lando didn't just betray them in Empire. I don't know. I feel like I'd be a little cautious. I know they've been buddies for a long time, but like,
Yeah. Well, doesn't Lando? I mean, I guess Han doesn't know that like Lando helped them in the end in
yeah,
Empire.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he was informed or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Time
I
has passed.
guess
You're
it's
supposed to
still
assume.
like
That's
yeah,
just a nitpick. That's not a thing. I was just
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just really like. I mean, it's just like the final scene. I know I say not to do this with movies because then you would look at Phantom Menace and Attack of the
or Rogue
Clones and
One
say
or
they're
something.
good. But like when you look at the final scene and like you really like it and you just judge that based on the whole movie. But like I really like the final scene in Return.
Yeah, because it's okay to say that in this case because the first two acts are still pretty solid. They're just yeah.
Yeah, they're not
The
bad.
final scene
And but
caps
like
off
this just
the
wraps everything up.
yeah the movie and the trilogy, so it's really
Yeah.
satisfying.
I just
Yeah,
like seeing Vader's and Luke's arc complete. Like you
yeah,
Luke's supposed to be the setup, like set up as this character as like who's like fighting between the light and the dark side. And you're supposed to be rooting like for him to go to the light when in reality he's supposed to be like the ultimate good and like
mhm.
he's never gonna really change. Like you don't
Yeah.
really think that's gonna happen, and then it ends up being Vader who's fighting this like moral battle, and I think like
That's a really interesting.
that's
Yeah,
a cool
like
twist. But
yeah.
I mean, it's predictable. But like
Mhm.
I still think it's a like a good character arc for both of them. Like for Vader betray his master and like the person that he has been training with and like been conquering worlds with for like years now.
Is now who he turns against for his son in the left.
Yeah.
That's one thing the prequels did well is when Padme says, I'm like Obi-Wan, I know there's still good in him. Like that was like the hope, the new hope in like
Yeah.
his children that there's ways to, persuade that little bit of light in him to turn him. That was one of the better things that the prequels did in setting up. One of the few compliments I have. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like the Luke Vader Emperor is by far the most interesting thing in the movie. Like I don't the Battle of Endor is fine. Like I like it, and then the trench run I think is more interesting than the New Hope one with like Lando and stuff going in, and it's
Hmm.
pretty similar. And
Yeah.
then it's a trap is like a famous line. I don't know if you know it's a meme and famous line where
I
They
think.
roll up to the
Maybe
Death
that's
Star, there's
true.
just no one there, and Admiral Akbar's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway, this is a small thing. I don't know. It's just it's I like the space. That's probably my favorite besides Rogue One. It's like my favorite space battle in Star Wars.
yeah, it's a cool scene.
But yeah, I mean, by far is the throne room scene. Emperor is just like killing it. He's the most consistent throughout all of them. Even in Rise of Skywalker, which I've just loads of problems with, like he's still the Emperor. Like it's
No, yeah, he's
whether I
definitely
want him to be there or
consistent.
not, he's the most consistent character. I
Yeah,
feel like.
yeah, he doesn't.
Besides Obi-Wan, I guess.
Yeah, they're both pretty consistently bad and then consistently good, like for both of them. So I mean, the Emperor is just like there, and like I know they do it a lot, just like the Death Star thing, but like him telling his future apprentice to kill his last apprentice, like that happens multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a complaint. Like I know, like it's justified by the rule of two or
Yeah,
whatever that the
yeah,
Sith have, but like it happens in that movie. Luke, he tells Luke to kill Vader, and then Anakin to kill whatever Dooku, and then what else? I mean, I guess Dooku had to kill Ventress. I like that's somewhat similar.
yeah.
I don't
There's
know.
just a lot of yeah, like it flushes like I guess it flushes out just the dark side almost, like how little care and compassion those like Sith have for
Yeah,
people, like because what Palpatine's been with Anakin for years now, and that he's like he planned to have him as his apprentice, like and just like that he's willing to dispose of him. It's pretty
yeah,
I don't know, really interesting.
yeah.
It's just well written characters all around. It's very good
Mhm.
in lore building. This is very
Yeah.
good.
My least favorite character is probably Leia, just because she doesn't. I mean, she does
Yeah.
like, but she's just not given that big of a role. But she's not a
Yeah, and it's
bad
like you
character.
insert her in any of the other trilogies as like herself, like she'd be one of the best, but she's just being put on a pedestal compared to all
Yeah,
these related
yeah,
characters.
really, yeah. She's just like
Yeah,
she's like pretty consistent. Just like I don't want to say not. She's not really a side character. Like she's supposed to be one of the main three out of the
yeah, but
trilogy, or
she's
out of like the. But she's just
but
like
Vader
not.
and Luke are the main.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know. They're really
I really
good.
like. I still like the scene where Vader takes off his helmet, looks to Luke with like his own eyes, like humanizes him. Because up until that point, we've pretty much only seen him with his helmet on. So
Yeah, he's been a robot. Like
yeah,
literally, he's been cold and like
yep.
robotic. Yeah. So, um, yeah, and then you get the CGI scene with Hayden Christensen
At the Endor celebration.
instead of the original Vader.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't care
yeah,
that much.
satisfying ending. I
What?
just like that one. I just felt complete after. Like I that trilogy could stand alone so well.
Yeah, I mean, like they didn't need to make any more movies, honestly.
Yeah, and they did, and I'm glad they did. Like, even though the
Yeah.
prequels, like I'm glad they exist still. I like them being there just because it's
Mhm.
more Star. But I don't know. I
Movies wrapped up. Like you didn't really have any questions.
yeah, you're done. Like it was
Like you weren't gonna be like, oh, what? Who takes over after the Empire? Like I mean, obviously the First Order
yeah,
does, but like
yeah,
you're not wondering that.
and it wasn't like one of the most like jump out of my seats like whooping like yes this was amazing. It was just like a really satisfying ending. Like they put a bow on it and they're like that's it. This is
Yeah,
really good.
yeah,
Probably I thought about this. I've seen a lot of movie trilogies in my like I've seen Back to the Future and Indiana Jones, which is now four because they did. But anyway, like I think I'm probably biased, but I think Star Wars is probably the most solid trilogy ever, like all around.
I feel like you're forgetting about the Raimi trilogy.
No, I'm not. Oh my gosh, I forgot that people have put that with Star Wars. That makes me happy. Oof.
So bad.
I don't know. It's just so easy and consistent and fun. It's fun. Star Wars is
Yeah,
fun when you watch. It's just I miss that.
I know.
So evil now talking about Star Wars.
I mean, like those are the characters. Like even before I knew about Star Wars or like watching movies, I like knew about it somewhat, and like those are the characters I knew were from the originals, like
Mhm.
Luke, Leia, Darth Vader, Yoda, just like everyone. Yeah,
That's why everyone like I know you haven't seen it, but that's why and you're gonna like it is everyone loves the Mandalorian because it takes place 10 years after Return. Like the time period's there. Story's really simple and the characters like it's just they went back to like what they're doing in the originals and it has that nostalgic feel. So it's just yeah, that one's good storytelling and that's why everyone loves it. And it's like yes, this is what Star Wars is, you know? Because I
yeah,
like Clone Wars a lot, but that show has very much prequel like vibes to it still.
yeah. But it does it way better. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
fine with it.
comprehensible.
I don't understand how they messed up the prequels that bad.
It's like it. How do you do Vader, Darth Vader's backstory wrong? It's I don't know.
I mean, it probably was like the biggest question people were asking was, how did Vader become Vader? And they had 50 years or so. I don't even know how many
Yeah,
years did they have. Like
like
from
20.
yeah, whatever.
Well, 83 was Return, 99 was Phantom. I guess only 16 still though. That's a lot
Yeah,
of time.
that's a lot still to prepare a whole trilogy. But there,
As long
it
as we've
was.
been alive.
It's definitely a movies. And
Yeah.
we've talked about it. We don't need to rip on it more. There's the plot and the storytelling are
Those
so
ones aren't
muddled.
like the sequels have frustrating things because there's so many like parts where it's like that is good, I like that, and then
You want it to be
they
good.
don't get there. But like prequels, there's no like frustration. It's just like haha, you suck more type thing.
They're bad.
Yeah, I like the originals so much though. Like I could rewatch this a ton too. They're very
They're
yeah.
just so easy. They're easy to watch.
Mhm. I don't feel drained afterward like I
Yeah.
do with some stuff we watch.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad. Time to contemplate life after every episode. It's
I
just
mean, that's like the example of like taking a show, making it super complicated, but
yeah,
doing it really, really well.
yeah. We gotta do Breaking Bad sometime. How long have we been doing this episode?
It has been 36 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much to say. I mean,
It's just
because
like these movies are so good.
I know,
Like, there's
and
nothing to rip on.
and like I don't know, like 36 minutes is honestly more than I thought. Just because like when we talk about like the prequels and sequels, I expected to reference the originals because that's like the base
Hmm.
for what you compare other stuff to because it's at the top. But I don't know. It's just hard. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have like many
I guess,
flaws for the trilogy.
yeah, just go through our rankings. I mean, I have Return, Empire, New Hope, but like Return and Empire is super, super close.
Yeah, mine has been all over the place. Mine used to be Return at the top, but then it was New Hope at the top because he's original. Then I rewatched them. After rewatching, thinking it's Empire, Return, New Hope.
Yeah.
All they're all pretty much interchangeable, but I definitely like Empire and Return
Hmm.
a
Yeah.
lot more. Yeah.
Mine are like ranked pretty much the same. Like
If
thinking
I had to
back
give
on it, they might be nines out of tens. I don't know. I'd probably give them both 8.5 and the New Hope an 8.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but it could go up half a point. I just don't know.
yeah, I'd
But
probably
then
put
I
them.
like, but like 9 is like so high. I
I
really
know.
like the movies, but there's movies I really like. I like more.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I don't know. Yeah,
and
it's
also
like
I don't want to compare them to the bad 8 movies where I give a 7.5. I should probably move this down to a 7. They're so bad.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, when I rank movies, I kind of do it relative to like if it's a trilogy, I do it relative to the other ones. Like MCU, those aren't like if I have like what
yeah,
Homecoming or Far From Home at a 9, I don't think they're like a ton better than Star Wars original trilogy. But it's just like I rank them relative to each other. Because yeah, the 8 movies, what get like Rise in 8 or whatever. I don't know.
yeah, I did. I did.
And like I did too, but like that's not fair to
Well,
say
because
it's
I
actually.
like that movie. I just don't want to put it too low, but it's
Yeah, I
just
know. So yeah, it's
too low.
the rankings are all. I mean, unless you're Danny, 2 out of 10 for Phantom Menace. I don't know.
Movie isn't that bad. It's
Yeah,
bad. It's not that bad. Like I don't see. It's not that much big of a jump from Attack to Revenge.
I know.
They're both bad.
Oh
They're
my
all
god,
bad.
that trilogy's so inconsistent though. Like it's so weird. I don't feel even. I mean, the sequels are the same. Yeah, they're very just kind of jump. The tones are different in every one.
Yeah,
This is
yeah. They feel very distinct. Like the original trilogy just meshes together in like one
yeah.
overarching story.
Each movie feels like a continuation of the one previous,
Yeah, I'm
which
sure.
is what it should be. I don't know why that's even something I have to say.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
like Last Jedi, kind of. I mean, not Last Jedi. Like just like Force Awakens and Last Jedi, kind of like,
yeah.
but like not as much. It's they're yeah. And then prequels are just no. Like it goes Phantom Menace and then jumps like 20 years or whatever, and then you get Attack, and then you jump some more.
We get a real movie in the first 20 minutes, then it's
Yeah, and then it's bad again. It does feel like distinctly like Clone Wars. Like they were so close to getting
I
that
know.
movie right, and they split Obi-Wan and Anakin. Everything went to shit. It went
Mm-hmm.
bad.
Clone Wars. I'm excited.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna talk
It's
with Sean. Sean, if you're listening, we're doing Clone Wars with you.
yeah, there's just three things that just people agree on: the originals, Mandalorian, and Clone Wars. The only things that hold the balance now. Uh, I think prequel fans are the problem Because sequel fans are pretty quiet. They don't just rub it in
You
each
hear
other's
them like
faces.
they like sequel fans don't hate on the prequels. I feel
Yeah, I don't hate
like
on them.
unless they're attacked.
Yeah, like I don't hate on the prequels until people tell me that they're good. Then I have to. But like I don't just I don't know. Or if I'm comparing it to this one, I won't just walk around being like I hate the prequels so much. They're comprehend like I could watch them, like they're movies, but
Yeah,
it's just hard not to give them the nostalgia bump because like obviously like those have defined my childhood, so it's really
yeah,
like, inadvertent nostalgia, like probably with the originals too. I just
they're good, so good.
yeah. Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean
that's
that it. We'll
well,
do
yeah.
the
I mean,
sequel
I
one
don't
soon.
really know what
I'm
else to
guessing the
say.
sequel one will be around the length of the prequel one. There's just so much
Yeah,
more to talk about.
especially because well more people too. We get like
Yeah,
more
that's
people.
true. That's true.
Yeah, I mean
I
we've
mean, I
gone
feel like if we had more
surprisingly
people,
long for this.
yeah. I mean, if we had more people here, I don't know if it would have been much longer. There's not
That's
that much to say.
true. Well, it would have been because Denny would have disagreed, and then it would have caused argument. Joey would have agreed with us. He would have been like, "Yeah, I agree with that," and Denny would have been
Yeah,
like, "No,
I just
no,
it would have only been interesting because I wouldn't like he's only seen all those once though. I guess you have only two, but like I don't know. It would be interesting to see if his flaws still hold up because I don't understand his dislike for like New Hope and stuff. But whatever, that's okay.
he hates New Hope. Like, genuinely hates it."
People are entitled to their opinion because a lot of people like Revenge Number One, even though they're wrong. They're not right. It's Empire or Return or Force Awakens if you're some people. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. Well, we can wrap it up.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So go follow us on Instagram and TikTok at podcast underscore time underscore times, where we post clips of our podcast that are shorter and easier to watch.
What a nice, refreshing episode this was. Just
Yeah.
no hate.
Nice, calm.
It's probably the only podcast episode where I haven't been mad at something.
Yeah.
Even in the MCU ones, I start getting mad at stupid things
Captain
like bringing
Marvel.
back dead people. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Captain Marvel.
Uh-huh.
Only that.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tune in. Uh, 2 days. That's our release schedule. If you guys haven't noticed, I mean, pretty much. Sometimes we're not.
Until we break it. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we. Yeah.
Yeah, then
But
we
yeah.
got sequels, Clone Wars, and Mandalorian down the line because this
Yeah.
kid got to finish it. Let's go.
Yeah. And probably Avatar and
Oh yeah,
Office.
Breaking
So many
Bad
things. We have a bunch of things lined up.
and
So
a WandaVision that comes out tomorrow.
yeah, that always comes. Yeah. We'll have that soon. Okay. Well, subscribe, like the video, comment, and do all those things. And yep, follow our Instagram, whatever. Okay.
Share it to everyone you know.
Yes. Bye.
Bye bye.